This is going to be a simple video on doing some shaman stuff and enhancement. Now I want you to understand I'm not the greatest. So this is simply how I play, and I've done nothing at all to clean up my interface from what I posted to you earlier. That's one of the problems that we have with World of Warcraft right now, is that some powers and stuff like that, as we start taking a look at things, we have too much on our toolbars is one of my common complaints. But you know, that's just one of the things you get for the complexity of the game. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we've got here. All right, the one thing I did do is I moved Door of Shadows out of the way because I have that up there, but it doesn't need to be up there. You're gonna find that I'm going to do most of my attacks using this shape here, kind of coming over here. These when they proc, these on call. But the first thing we want to do is we want to make sure that we have our buffs loaded up. So let's get our lightning shield, our flame tongue weapon, and our wind fury weapon. We're going to get those loaded up, and those are on our weapons, okay? And we don't have to worry about anything. I've got all sorts of things happening here. Let's go ahead and come up here and commence to stomp. Now, what I like to do is I like to come in. I'm just going to initiate there. I'm going to drop the Lava Lash. I'm going to Storm Strike. Then I'm going to drop my totem, my healing totem, and I'm going to come back. At this point, you've seen some procs. I'm going to go ahead and insta-cast my chain, my harvest. And then from here on, I take a look at what I've got going on, and it's just going to be, what am I facing? Who do I need a heal? Do I need a solo target attack or what? So my attacks are going to turn all these into instacasts. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to proc stuff. Let's go ahead and come over here. We're going to do a little bit more. And I've got an interesting setup. I'll talk about it later. It's not important for right now, but I kind of have a few things set up for the tools that I use. Let's go ahead and start with our Crash Lightning. Let's do our Lava Lash. Let's do our Storm Strike. And now I've got a proc, right? And that's what we're looking for. We're looking for the procs. And I'm going to do a Chain Lightning, and I'm going to do another Chain Lightning because it's all procced. Now I've got, I'm going to keep on going because I'm looking okay. I'm not too worried about what I've got. And I've triggered another one, so I'm going to go ahead and insta-cast my heal. And it's just about making decisions. Where are you standing at? What is your proc up? And how you're going to do what you do. Now, Ascendance down here, this one right here is going to shift you into crazy Shaman mode and turns your Storm Strike into a Wind Strike. It's not a very long spell, but you can use that to initiate your attack. Look for your procs, right? And then rotate into the rest of your attack. That's going to last for a little bit, but not long. And everything is just based upon, like I said, you're going to kind of throw some stuff down here with the spells and the abilities that you have here. You're going to get a proc, and when you get the proc, you're going to make a decision on what you want to do with it. But the yummy part about it is it turns things like your Covenant abilities into insta-casts, which is what you want. I don't know all the Covenant abilities. I only work with the Shaman and Chain Harvest on the event there. But that's it. We're just lining up. We're going to make sure that we have our buffs on at all times. We're going to use our main attacks, which is this L shape here. It's going to be your Crash Lightning, your Lava Lash, your Storm Strike, your Flame Shock, and then this right here, Sundering. This is a line. This is kind of an AoE. I throw that once I get a bunch of people on there. These are my main things I'm going to throw in. Sometimes I will transition into Frost Shock, and if I didn't get any procs and everything's on cooldown, then I'm going to do a long cast Lightning Bolt, which does sometimes happen. But we want to come in, we want to initiate. We're going to start doing some poundage, right? And you'll see that we got that. I don't have anything to cast, so we're going to go into a long cast Lightning, right? Because that sometimes happens. This one right here, I want to be honest with you, it feels to me that we do better when we have, multiple targets. And then as we come in here, let's get our totems, because that's one of the things I didn't get down. And I'm going to go ahead and throw a heal to keep me in the fight. I've got some more peeps coming in, so when we get a chance, we're going to do a big target by getting an AoE attack in, and we're doing okay. And you always want to make sure that keep track of your health. I know that's pretty fast. I have to be honest with you. It's fast for me too. A lot of that is over and done before I really process it. It's just a lot of button clicking. You'll notice that I haven't triggered the Feral Spirit or the Earth Elemental. I haven't done a Hex to set anything up. Hex tends to be a little bit more specialist. I do that on some occasions, but not all. And I'll do Astral Strike or Astral Shift if I need to protect myself. But generally speaking, the tools that I have at hand take care of the enemy pretty well. And understand, I'm not sitting at really high eye level. I'm at 175. So it's just rotating through those ones. There's things that you'll want to do to refine yourself and refine your gameplay. Again, I'm not an expert. I'm just know it some. Let's take a look at what I have on here. I don't have War Mode on because I was doing some other things. But I run Forceful Wind, Storm Flurry, Spirit Wolf, Hailstorm, Nature's Guardian, Sundering, and Ascendance. These ones right here tie in with these, and I kind of like those. You can do some other different ones if you see fit. I have these for reasons. I'm not going to tell you that there's any real main logic onto that, other than I think I copied that off of something like Icy Veins or something like that. So nothing fancy. All right, so let's go ahead. We're going to flip a new one in. Let's go ahead and start in on this. We're going to pick up all these guys. I want to get some chonk in here, right? We're going to keep on going. So now we're in kind of a spot here. Let's go ahead and go to Astral Shift. Let's get our heals in. Let's get this up and running. Okay, and we're just going to go into proc mode, and that's what we're trying to do, is we're trying to get a bunch of procs in. Let's get some wolves out. And I'm going to get some heals in. One of the things you have to pay attention on this, is that your heals are going to, they cost mana. Like right now, I can't do anything. There we go. We'll go ahead and throw that on there. And, now we've gone in there. We dipped down a little bit. I called my wolves out to help me on that one. I had to use the Astral Shift to manage some of that, but we ended up coming out of the fight pretty solid. So that's what you're looking to do. You want to get in the fight, start taking a look when you're closing out your fight of using your procs on heals so that you're ready to go. And I hope that wasn't too confusing. I'm not going to apologize if it was, but that's in a nutshell what I'm doing. So very simple. Again, you're looking to line yourself up. However you do this is just what worked for me when I set it up. There's probably a more logical way to do it, but all of my attacks are kind of tied right in here. My maintain buffs are here. Remember that this is 30 minutes, 60 minutes, 60 minutes. You just set it and go on about your business. This is going to be your main attack branch right here. These four. We stretch into these as see fit. We're going to drop our Wind Fury Totem, which this one right here starts buffing us for auto attacks, and we get extra attacks off of that. Excuse me, and then Healing Stream Totem, which is going to take care of us, and it's going to give us little heals while we're sitting here. So those are things that we want to get up and running. Okay, we're going to Flame Shock. Frost Shock I don't do too much. That one is good for movement. I use it a lot in Arresto and Elemental, but not so much in Enhancement because I've gotten up in your face. But sometimes I'll use it depending upon what's going on. If, like, say if we're in a dungeon and the tank is kiting and he's dragging a lot of peeps with him, I'm going to do this to slow them down so we can attack them while we're going forward. You know, Earth Elemental and the Feral Spirits are on call as you see fit. Another thing I want to talk about here is Capacitor Totem. Let's take a look at what that one is. I have this one set up because I have a mouse that has these buttons on here, so I'm just going to point that one out here. This is the macro that I showed you. You see where my mouse is? That's where the totem went. And it stuns my target, and then now I can go ahead and it's good for doing groups. I like to do it for giving me a brief moment's respite on groups. I didn't even need to cast that. They were dead already. And it just gives me a brief moment's respite so I don't have to keep getting hit. Maybe I want to stun and attack. Maybe I want to slow incoming damage so I can respond to it. Those are just options that are available to me, and I want to be able to use those as I see fit. I hope that helps. This isn't the be-all, end-all. We didn't talk about Earthbind Totem. We didn't talk about Tremor Totem. These are things that you'll want to use. The Augment of Sin. This is a toy that I have. An item that I have that summons a buddy, a fighting buddy. So there's a lot of chaff on here that you don't need to worry about. Your bread and butter is these spells right here. These spells are conditionals as you see fit. Use them as necessary. And then everything else is conditionals that come out after that. And then the way that I have my bar set up, I have my resurrection over here. I have any movement, mounts, or in this case here, a battle standard if necessary. And then my teleportation spells and stuff like that. And then I have this just, it's a toy just because. And then sometimes I have some stuff over in here. But don't worry about my setup. You need to work on what is good for you. The add-ons that I use specifically for this one, this is LVUI, okay? You've heard the horn go off and sometimes something appears down here. That is a rare spawn, and this one shows me all the different rares that are out here on the world. And I can click on them and see what's specific about them, what I need to do to engage them. There's a loot table for them. It's just information. To be honest with you, sometimes too much information. But that's it. It's really not that hard. But the most important thing is just to get your pre-buffs, get your attacks lined up, get your totems lined up. That's what I have here. Get your procs clustered together so that when these trigger, these will trigger the procs. All these are going to be in there and you're making a decision. Do I need to attack a single target? Do I need to attack a multi-target? Do I need to heal myself? Do I need to heal a group? In this case here, Chain Harvest is a beautiful attack everything and heal. So that's a great one to use as necessary. And you just work your way through it, okay? Got my attacks going on. I'm going to get my totems. You see my procs are coming up. I have a single target, so I'm not going to worry too much about him. And I'm just going to maintain my rotation. Right? Nothing that big. Very simple. And these are your main. These four are your main attack. And then your procs. Okay? Now I like to always be casting. So usually I'm coming down into these ones here to trigger those as well. But remember, we have Wind Fury Totem, which is going to increase the rate that our normal hand weapons are going to attack. So it's okay not to always be pressing buttons. And you're basically just managing, really to be honest with you, 4 attacks. And then your procs, okay? And right now, I have a proc stored up, and I don't have anything to do with it. So let's go ahead we're going to come up here, and I'm going to go ahead and make some people mad at me. And I'm going to turn off, and I'm going to automatically go straight to procs. And I've completed the battle. I've cast an insta-cast healing. I'm now ready to go on to the next mob without any delay. I'm just ready to go ahead and continue my fight. Okay, so I hope that kind of gets you started. Like I said, you're going to have to learn this on your own, what is comfortable for you. For me, this makes sense. This is a good setup for me. All right, but that's the key. It's a good setup for me. You'll need to find out what's good for you. Good luck, and I hope that helps. We'll catch you later.